Alright, moving along here in our textbook, we can see on the next page, adjust column width. Obviously, you're going to be adjusting it because with Microsoft Word, oftentimes it would auto-fit them for you. So it kind of changed the column if it didn't fit in for you. But in Excel, you're going to have to change a lot of that stuff yourself. And so we're going to look at that. To wind in a column, to accommodate the longest label or value in a column, complete one of the following sets of steps. So you can point to the right vertical border of the column heading. So let's say I have all that in H, and I want to make column H long enough for this to fit. So what I would do is move my mouse up here to the right vertical border of my column, and you can see it changes how my cursor looks. I click on it, hold it down, it shows me the width, and I can move it to where I need to go. And once I let go, it adjusts it just like that. Now notice when you adjust it up here, it's going to adjust the whole column, not just this cell. Okay. Now if you want to adjust it another way, you can click Format in the Cells group on the Home tab, so up here, and then the next thing you can do is select the column width, so right here, and I can type in a specific width. So right now it's showing me the one I want, but say I want exactly 30 pixels. I can click type in 30, click OK, and it adjusts it for me just like that. And when I click up here and hold down, I can see it. So whichever way works best for you, you can choose. And then also to adjust the width of a column to an exact width, complete the following steps. Drag the vertical border to the left to decrease the column width, or to the right to increase column width. You saw that, so I could shorten it like this. I can make it longer like this. So left shortens it, right makes it longer. And then Excel displays a screen tip as you drag it, specifying the width. We already saw that. And then click Format in your cell group, select column width, and then type a value that represents a maximum number of characters to display in the column width. So I could do that. It also go by letters apparently, not just the pixels. So 30 I guess is representing the letters there. So that's how you can adjust the column width. And now adjusting the row height, a lot of it's really just this exact same thing. You move over to the borders here. If I move it down, when I click on it, it makes it longer. If I move it up, when I click on it, it makes it shorter. And I can do the exact same thing with Format and choose row height, type it in just like that. I can also choose auto fit row height, and it goes by the size of my letters. It'll just switch for me. Now moving to our next main header, selecting, moving, copying, and pasting data. Because you're going to do a lot of that in Excel. You want to do the things that help you save time, not create more issues or suck up more time, so to speak. So you want to do things that are going to help you with it. So a range refers to a group of adjacent or contiguous cells in a worksheet. So a range would be I select all these cells. They're all next to each other. They all continue. I can click on that. It's a range of cells. So one cell by itself is obviously just a cell. A range is a group of those. A non-adjacent range contains multiple, such as like this. So now I have two separate rows, maybe a column. These are called non-adjacent range, or is called a non-adjacent range because it's not next to each other. They're adjacent means it's right next to it. And then over here, it shows you how to select a certain way. If you want to do a range, you just click, hold down the mouse button to select it. If I want an entire column, I click up here in my column heading. If I want an entire row, I click over here on my row heading. If I want the current range containing data, including headings, I can click in the range of data and press Control A. So hold on Control, press A, and it selects everything. If I want all the cells in the worksheet, I hold down Control A, press it twice. Really simple. And the non-adjacent range, I can select one, hold down the Control button, select another, select another, select another. Really easy. Now to move a range. So let's say I want to move all these cells right here. I select it, which I just did. I just clicked, held down the button, dragged it across. Click Cut in the Clipboard group to copy the range to Clipboard. So I could click it in the Clipboard group, which is over here, or I could hold down Control and press X, either one. So I'm going to click it so you can see it. And right now I have this vertical line, and it still shows it here for me. Unlike cutting data in Microsoft Office applications, the data you cut in Excel remain their locations until you paste them elsewhere. A moving dash green border surrounds the selected range, and the status bar displays select destination and press enter or choose paste. So when I paste it, I'm going to choose the cell I want it to appear from, like this. So it's going to go from top left. So if I paste it up here, and I'm going to just hold down Control, press V, or I could click up here. I'll actually click up here so you can see it. It moves it just like that. So whatever the top left corner is, it pastes it here, and you'll notice it didn't change my column height for this one when I pasted it. You insert the destination range, so you want to make sure it fits in it, and then of course click in the top left corner of where you want it to go and choose paste, and it shows in the figure how to do that. Alright, now copy and paste a range. You may want to copy cell contents from one range to another. When you copy a range, the original data remain in their original locations. So for example, you might copy. So the difference between cut is you're cutting it out, pasting it somewhere else. Copying, you're making an extra copy and putting it somewhere else. So I'm going to just copy it, Control C, or I can click the copy button. So let me select my range again, copy, and I can click somewhere else and just paste it like that. Really simple. And you notice it keeps this the same. It put in the top left, but this time it's stretched out because the H column is wider and A column is a lot shorter. Really simple to do. Basically, the one thing you will want to double check though is make sure it fits. So I know it's going to fit here, but maybe my columns are too small, so I have to make them wider so they actually fit. So really for column J, I'd want to stretch it out to make sure it fits. Just like that. Really helpful to you. And you can see in figure 130 they showed as well. And then use paste options and paste special. So let's talk about that. Sometimes you might want to paste data in a different format than they are in the clipboard. So for example, you might want to preserve the results of calculations before changing the original data. To do this, you can paste the data as values. If you want to copy data from Excel and paste them into a Word document, you could paste the Excel data as a worksheet object, as unformatted text, or in another format. So we're going to look at that here briefly, just very quickly. To paste data from Clipboard into a different format, complete the following steps. 1. Click Paste arrow in the Clipboard group. And then I have my options here. Point to the command to see a screen tip and preview how the pasted data will look. So I can see right here, it's going to show me how it looks when I paste it. And so I have this cell selected, so let's actually go over here and select this one. And I can go through all these different ones, it'll show me how it's going to look. So linked picture, formatting, transpose, all these different ones. So keep source column widths, so it'll copy it for me, so when I paste it, it'll keep what was there. I pasted up from up here, so it didn't change it to here. If I were to copy this and paste it, it would have changed the size of this column. So really simple to use. And over here, paste options, it lists all of them. I'm not going to go through those, but you can look through those briefly, just so that way we can keep the video short. Alright, and then you can always copy Excel data to other programs. It's really simple. You just copy in here, paste it elsewhere. And you can always use the special paste, clicking the paste arrow in the other Word application to help you out with doing it. Alright, so that is a video, just a brief overview of the information from part C of chapter number 1. Now you're going to work on hands-on exercise number 3, moving on in your class. Good morning, class. What we're going to do in this video is take a look quickly through the pages that are right after exercise number 2 in your textbook. So basically you could say this is chapter 1 part 3 for the information. I'm just going to highlight some things quickly for you, so that way keep this video as short as possible. It will hopefully help you in completing your next exercise to make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to bring up a blank workbook with my blank worksheet, and we're looking at worksheet structure and clipboard tasks today. So Clipboard, a lot of you already know from Microsoft Word that it's in reference to when we copy and paste anything, cut and paste anything. That's where the stuff is stored, our clipboard. So although you plan to use worksheets before entering data, you might need to insert a new row to accommodate new data. And that happens a lot with Excel. Maybe there's something you forgot. Maybe you need to delete a column that you no longer need, or hide a column of confidential data before printing worksheets for distribution, or even adjust the size of columns and rows so it fits better. So basically, if you need to change something after you've already done it, this is going to help you, this part of the chapter, in doing it. So part C, we're going to call it, of chapter 1. So first off, you manage your columns and rows. Now, here we see header saying insert cells and columns, and basically really simple to do. It's over in our cells group right over here. And to insert, you can either click right here and it'll insert a cell, or you can click on insert and you can do a full row, you can do columns, anything like that. Now how it works when you insert something, it's going to take whatever contents were in there, shove them down one, and put in your new row. Or if it's a column, it's going to take the contents that were in here, shove it over here, and create a new column. So that's how it works for inserting a cell, a column, row. And if I just want to do a single cell, I just click insert. Now you don't really see a change on it, but that's how you would do it. Now, to insert one or more cells, complete the following steps. You click in the cell where you want the new cell. So let's say we want the new cell over here. I'm going to add text around it just so that way we can see it actually have an effect and work. Next, click in the, I'm on the next page here, 428. Next, it says click the insert arrow in the insert cells group on the home tab. So I'm clicking on insert arrow and clicking then on insert cells, and that's going to tell me here which do you want me to do. Do you want shift the cells down? Do you want to shift them to the right? Do I want entire row, entire column? And see, I just add a cell. So what it does is it shoves down my information by one, because it didn't create a column, it added to the row itself. So and that's how it works, just like that. Very simple. It took my empty contents and shoved it down and shoved everything else down under it. Now to delete cells, columns, and rows, we're looking at the next header, step 2. If you want to delete one, you click on the column or row heading for the column or row you want to delete. So let's say I want to delete this one. I can click on the heading part, which is over here, and I'll select the entire thing. And then, that's what it's talking about, and that says click delete in the home tab. And just like that, it's gone. Now, if I want to delete a cell or cells, complete the following steps. I'm going to add this back here. I'm on the next page. Select the cells. So let's say I want these two gone. Let's do this one here and then this one right here. So I held down Control after I clicked on this one to select this one. And then it says here click the delete arrow in cells group, and it says select delete cells to display the dialog box. And then of course we can click the appropriate option to shift cells left or up and click OK. And you can see they're gone, just like that. Very simple to do. Now we can also hide or unhide columns. If you want to print something and say you only want them to have a certain part of your spreadsheet and you're fine with them having the rest, or not, or there's a certain part you don't want them to see, this is when you would use this tool. So what you're going to do is, and it kind of shows here in the picture how if it contains information you do not want to display, you can hide it. However, it's not deleted when you hide it. And so you can see in the picture there's a double vertical line that indicates a hidden column and a double horizontal line that indicates a hidden row, and this is in figure 1.25. Now to hide a column or row, complete one of the following steps. You're going to select the cell or cells in the column or row you want to hide. So I'm going to select this one right here. Then click Format in the Cells group, which is over here on the Home tab, and then point to Hide and Unhide, so right down here, and you can see my menu comes up. And then select Hide Columns or Hide Rows depending on what you want to hide. And I'm going to choose Hide Columns. And you can now see, here's my little double right here showing there's a hidden one with information. So that's how I hide a column or a row. To hide non-adjacent columns or rows, complete the following step. Press and hold Control while you click the desired column and row heading. So say if I want all the way over here, I can just hold down the Control button and keep clicking, and it will select different ones, and I could do the same thing. Go, click over here, Format, Hide and Unhide, and choose that. Very simple. Now to unhide a column or row, complete the following steps. It says here, select the columns or rows on both sides of the hidden one. So I'm going to click on the G heading and I heading right here. And then after that, I'm going to click in my format in the cells group over here. And it says next I need to do point to hide and unhide. And then I'm going to choose Unhide Columns because that's what I'm trying to get to show. And here we go. It shows up again just like that for me. Very easy to hide and unhide.